Welcome back once again, all of my low-carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I am going to show you how to make a very simple version of Keto Flan, also known as Creme Caramel and several different titles depending on where you are from. Basically, flan is a custard that is baked in a very thin, clear layer of caramel syrup or caramel sauce. It is super tasty. And the way I am going to show you how to make it today is so simple that even a beginner baker can make this. So if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 320 degrees. In a medium saucepan over medium heat, combine 28 grams or about 2.5 tablespoons of granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever sweetener you want. Add 28 grams or another 2.5 tablespoons of brown sweetener of your choice. I'm using golden monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever brown sweetener you want. Add 2 tablespoons of water and 1 tablespoon of butter. Stir everything all together until it's fully combined. Then continue stirring over medium heat until the butter is completely melted. Once the butter is completely melted, stop stirring and bring the mixture to a low boil. Once your mixture is at a low boil, swirl the pan around just a little bit just to make sure that the ingredients are all combined and that you have an even layer over the bottom of your pan. Do not stir this. If you stir this too much, you can cause crystals in your syrup. So you just want to slightly swirl the pan around. Then allow the mixture to simmer for about 5 minutes over medium heat or until the mixture has darkened just a little bit and you start to smell a slight caramel smell. Once the syrup has darkened a little bit, for the best texture, you want to pour this through a small mesh strainer. That way, if there are any little particles of the sweeteners that didn't quite get dissolved, they will be filtered out. Now, this will be a very thin syrup. It is not going to be thick at all. It's just going to be a very light, thin syrup. If you do want a slightly thicker, more of a caramel sauce, then I'll put a link in the description to my keto caramel sauce. You'll only need probably about maybe half the recipe of it. Once you've poured the syrup through the strainer, then immediately divide the caramel evenly between 4 6-ounce ramekins or any other type of 6-ounce oven-safe containers. You want to do this immediately because the syrup will harden as soon as it cools. Slightly swirl each of the 6-ounce ramekins just a little bit, just to create an even coat of the syrup onto the bottom of each of the ramekins. Again, this is just going to be a very thin syrup layer. It's not going to be thick at all. You just want it evenly coated. You want it to harden once it's in the ramekins. You don't want it to harden before then. Then set that aside for just a minute while you make the filling. For the custard, in a large blender, place 4 large eggs. Doesn't matter if they're room temperature or not. 96 grams or about a half cup of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. This is optional. It just kind of balances out the sweet flavor of the custard, but if you don't want to throw it in there, you don't have to. Blend all of the ingredients together for about 10 seconds or just until the ingredients are fully combined. You do not want to over blend this because you do not want to create a lot of foam on top. If you create a lot of foam on top, you run the risk of having a almost plasticky layer over your custard. So just about 10 seconds, just until everything is combined. Add 16 ounces or about 2 cups of the milk of your choice. Then once again, blend about 10 seconds just until everything is fully combined. And again, do not blend it too much. Do not create a lot of foam. Once everything is fully combined, pour the mixture through a mesh strainer so that you get a nice smooth texture. You want to make sure that any particles of sweetener that might have not been fully dissolved are filtered out. Take your prepared ramekins and divide the custard mixture evenly between each one of the 4 ramekins. If you need to, you can swirl the ramekin around just a little bit just to make sure that the custard is evenly. Then set those aside for just a second. Take an 8x13 cake pan and fill it about 1/4 of the way full with boiling water. This is roughly around 6 cups. Make sure you are very careful not to burn yourself, so pour it slowly and carefully into the cake pan. Then carefully place the ramekins into the boiling water. Be careful not to burn yourself, and make sure that the water does not come close to the top of your ramekins. I'm using a brulee kit that has a rack that holds the ramekins in place. I'll put a link in the description as to where you can purchase this, but you don't have to have it. Just set the ramekins in the boiling water. Then carefully place the pan in your oven and bake at 325 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour, or until the flan is golden on top and firm to the touch but not solid. The best way to test this is to take a tester and place it about halfway through one of the flans. If it comes out clean, it's done. If it still has some wet moisture to it, then it needs to be baked just a little bit longer. Once the flan is done baking, remove it from your oven and allow it to cool in the pan for at least 10 minutes so that all of the ingredients can settle in and your flan can firm up. Remove the ramekins from the pan and place them on a wire rack and allow them to cool for about an hour or until they come up to mostly room temperature. Cover each individual ramekin with a piece of plastic wrap and place it in the refrigerator and refrigerate at least 4 hours. To serve the flan, use a butter knife or a small spatula and loosen the sides of the flan from the edges of the ramekins. Then place a small serving plate over the top of the ramekin and carefully turn the ramekin over onto the pan and gently shake it a little bit if you need to loosen up the flan. If you want to, you could drizzle a little bit of extra caramel sauce over the top. Again, the link to my caramel sauce will be in the description. If you do have any leftovers, keep them covered with plastic wrap in your refrigerator for up to 3 days. And eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.